Welcome, Raiders of Arrakis. The official launch of DUNE Awakening is finally here. With endless sands to explore, bases to build, and scavs and worms lurking around every turn, you might be wondering just where to start. Today, we're going over 5 crucial tips to jumpstart your playthrough and give you an edge as you claim your place in the world of DUNE. So scrounge up some darts and ready those cutter rays, and without further ado, let's get into it. Number 1. Choose the right class for your playstyle. The most important decision you can make during character creation to affect your early game experience in DUNE is your class, or as the game calls it, your mentor. At the start, you have 4 choices, each with a unique starting ability, along with separate skill trees you can place points into to acquire additional class abilities. Each class has its unique flavor and playstyle early on, which you need to be aware of as you make your decision. The Swordmaster is a melee focus class, with abilities specializing in quickly closing the distance with your enemies. It starts with Knee Charge, an ability that quickly pushes you forward, allowing you to stagger or even quickly defeat a low-level enemy. You can also pick up Deflection, which allows you to avoid damage from ranged attacks as you close distance with the enemy. The Bene Gesserit fits high movement and stealth-focused playstyles. You start with Compel, which pulls an enemy towards you and stuns them, allowing you to pick apart larger groups of enemies with ease. You can also immediately unlock the Bindu Sprint at level 2, which allows you to quickly move forward at a far distance, usually enough to cross the desert gaps in between rock cover. This is probably the best movement skill early in the game, allowing you to cover vast distances compared to your counterparts. The Mentat specializes at support and bending fights to your team's advantage. Mentats start with Sentinel, a dart-firing drone that automatically targets your enemies and provides much-needed cover fire. The Sentinel makes quick work of scavengers in the early game. You can also unlock Poison Capsule, which fires a cloud of poison to drain health from enemies in a moderate area of effect. You can also choose Shield Wall to place deployable cover for you and your allies. Finally, the Trooper is a ranged weapon specialist with grenades and high mobility. Trooper begins with the Shigawire Claw, allowing you to grapple onto rock walls and propel yourself forward, or execute a fast climb or descent. This ability can be used to close distances and surprise groups of scavs, or move around terrain quickly to get to cover. The Trooper's grenade line of abilities begins with the Anti-Gravity Field, which causes all targets within the area of effect to float off the ground, turning affected enemies into easy targets. Continuing up this path ends in the Collapse Grenade, which pulls all enemies in an area towards a single point. This allows the Trooper to combo very effectively with other area of effect weapons and abilities. Now that you know the starting classes, my advice is to pick a class with a movement-focused ability to start, such as the Trooper's Shigawire Claw or Bene Gesserit's Bindu Sprint. This will let you traverse quest locations and gather resources at a faster pace than other options, and quickly scale your character and base of operations. You can always train with class trainers later on to add other skills to your toolkit. Number 2. Find a good spot for your starting base. One of the most important decisions you'll make early on is where to place down that first sub-fief console and start your base. In DUNE Awakening, gatherable resources respawn regularly, so you should try to find a spot around as many different resource types as possible. Look for a location around copper, granite, metal, and fiber. Dew plants and fuel are an added bonus, although you'll soon unlock alternatives for hydration and crafting fuel cells. In my game, I was able to find a spot next to all of these resources. I was also positioned close enough to a small scav camp to repeatedly farm it, while staying just far enough away to avoid aggro from the respawning mobs. This also allows me to farm the scav container, which contains a variety of resources. These containers also respawn, although at a slower rate than resources and mobs generally. You'll want to revisit your base frequently to store resources and loot, so you should try to build as close as possible to a fast travel point or trading hub. You might find that many spots have already been taken on your chosen server next to the nearest hub, or you might have already started building up a nice base before ever reaching a trading post. However, once you unlock the Solido Replicator, you can use it to simply copy a blueprint of your base and place it in the closest spot you can find to a trading post. Even if you can't build right next to the marked location, placing your permanent base as close as possible will save you lots of travel time as you continue to complete quests throughout the game. Number 3. Make use of respawning resources. In DUNE Awakening, resources you find throughout the world will continuously respawn. This includes the large copper, granite, plant fiber, and metal nodes you'll find throughout the starting area, as can be seen here. But it also includes scavenger chests and other lootable containers, which can have anything from vehicle fuel cells to more advanced crafting parts, such as micro sandwich fabric and EMF generators. Because I placed my base next to a scav camp, I'm able to repeatedly farm a basic scav container, and quickly stash the spoils in my base, only needing to clear a single mob each time. Even more advanced materials, such as machine parts or advanced servoks, will respawn. These are usually on a longer timer and require you to clear more dangerous enemy groups to loot. They're generally found around specialized location types, such as crash sites or testing stations. One key tip is to log out next to an area with higher value resources, such as the Imperial Testing Station, so you can loot it again and double up on valuable loot once you log back in. Based on my experience, respawns are purely time-based, so with enough patience, you can gather up everything you need. Number 4. Focus on your vehicles. Arrakis is a big world. It won't take long for you to realize that most of your time is being spent traveling between your base and checkpoints on the map. If this is the case for you, you have two options. You can either abandon your base and build in a more central location, or you can focus on building and maintaining the best possible vehicle, so you can always get where you need to go. Vehicles can be initially obtained by completing the Across the Gap journey. I'd recommend focusing on completing this step as soon as it becomes available, before taking on contracts or doing other optional content in the game. You can find the materials to make bike parts in the Imperial Testing Station, which you'll be sent to as part of a starting journey. I would recommend staying and waiting for respawned loot crates so you can accumulate plenty of sandbike parts before leaving. You should have everything you need after just 2 clears, but if you have the backpack space, you can stay even longer. There are 2 somewhat hidden areas in the Imperial Testing Station you'll want to be aware of. Make sure to spot the secret bookcase, which is marked by a glowing yellow light. Once you've cleared the area, head back towards the start. Be sure to backtrack through the blue door at the bottom of the entrance steps, which will reveal a large cache of extra building materials. Now you're ready to build your first sandbike. Make sure to always keep your vehicles repaired, refueled, and upgraded as your adventure continues. Number 5. Build more than you need. With plentiful storage available, it can be tempting to hoard resources away in your base as you go out and complete quests on Arrakis. While it's good to keep inventory space freed up, I've found myself running out of heal kits and water sources on more than one occasion. It's also easy to quickly fill up on backpack space as you gather up all resources available to you. However, crafted items typically weigh less than raw resources. Therefore, if you craft everything you might need while traveling out in the world, you can extend your questing and gathering sessions while continuing to loot needed items. I demonstrate this here, where you can see my backpack space starts at 92V with 30 units of fiber. After crafting as many heal kits as possible, I'm left with 89V of filled backpack space, freeing up 3V just from crafting those kits. If you repeat this on a larger scale with 100 or even 500 of a raw material, you can vastly increase the amount you carry back to base, simply by crafting on the go. You should use the same principle for harvesting blood. Once you unlock the blood purifier, you should have the ability to craft blood bags. I always make sure to carry around at least 4 of these with me at the start of each questing loop, so I have enough to refill my purifier every time I come back to base. As you adventure around Arrakis, taking out groups of scavs, be sure to retrieve their blood as you loot. Bringing extra blood bags will allow you to gather enough blood to refill your purifier each time you return to base, allowing you to top off your water meter and be fully hydrated to begin your next loop. If you're worried about filling up your base's container space, one key tip is to make multiple containers and use the quick deposit option to automatically move stacks of any item type you have in your inventory to that container. And there you have it, 5 tips to get you out to a fast start in Dune Awakening. If you like what you saw and want to help out a new YouTuber, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more content. Check out this video next, and I'll see you all back on the sands of Arrakis.